Hello everyone, welcome back to another live on the channel. Back once again discussing some more Leicester transfer news. Obviously we are at 1 o'clock today rather than the usual 8:30 one. But I thought I'll go live a bit earlier today because we have got some news which has obviously come out this morning about Willy Caballero being appointed, obviously the new Leicester City assistant manager. So we'll get onto that. We'll also catch up on some of the transfer news. Obviously I haven't gone live for a couple of days now, so we'll catch up on the rest of it. Talking about Harvey Barnes, we get the latest on Callum Doyle and Zack Steffen, and there's some slight rumours going around Joe Perreault, etc. So, yeah, lots to go through today. Obviously, it's been a pretty stagnant week in terms of transfers. Nothing really going on too much. Obviously, we signed Cody and Winks before. You would have thought that maybe we could have got at least a player in this week, but that's not the case. So I would expect Leicester to go in next week and look to get a few players through the door. But that all depends on Harvey Barnes, which is the first one we're going to be discussing today. But yeah, make sure to say hello in the chat, get the likes up on the stream, and let's get into the chat just before we get in. Obviously, we are at 1 o'clock today, so I'm not expecting too many people, but I thought I'd go live today on the Sunday. So yeah, let's jump into the chat. Cherry, mate, what's going on? Bonjour. Bonjour, bonjour. Welcome to the stream. You want Callum Doyle and Perreault? Well, I don't know any French, but yeah, I think the Callum Doyle one is one we can look to try and get through soon. We'll talk about that in a minute. But starting things off then, let's have a quick look at the Harvey Barnes transfer. We won't talk about it for too long. However, it is really the main topic right now because I think Leicester may have to sell Barnes, and then we can go and obviously money, the Barnes and Maddison money as well. Because obviously we signed Winks and Cody basically at the same time was when James Maddison left, which could be similar. But yeah, this is the latest this morning on the Harvey Barnes deal. This is from the Mail, so a decent source you could say. But yeah, Leicester, so yeah, Newcastle are ready to launch a bid for around 25 million, which I personally think is far too low. 25 million for Barnes, for me, it needs to be at least 35, 40 million realistically. I cannot see Leicester accepting that. And if we do, it would be a very stupid decision because obviously if we sell Barnes, we could reinvest that money. But I really think we can get more. Barnes is a more valuable asset to us than James Maddison was because obviously his contract left is longer. He's a left winger, which isn't, especially in England, there isn't as many left wingers as the likes of James Maddison in that number 10 role. For me, 25 million is bordering on the disrespectful because yes, Leicester have been relegated, and obviously that is going to reduce the fee a little bit. But for me, 25 million is far too low. Far too low. And obviously you guys see here, Leicester originally wanted 60, which is never going to happen now. But Eddie Howe's side are confident again considerably less. And I think 25 million is just stupidly less. I think, 35 million to 40 million is a decent deal. Leicester know that Newcastle have money. So, I think Leicester should stand a bit stronger on this one and try and get the most out of Newcastle. There's a train going past my window right now, so hopefully you can still hear me. But yeah, I think for Barnes, we just need to get a bit more. But yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. Apologies for the noise in the background. It is the weekend, so stuff's going on. But yeah, let's jump back into the chat then. What's happening with Callum Doyle and Joe Perreault? Is what I said, yeah. I think with Callum Doyle, we're still waiting. We'll talk about him later, but Leicester I'm looking to agree a fee with Man City. Obviously, he was alone at Coventry last year. He's now obviously a Man City player, so Leicester are looking to agree. And with Perreault, nothing much. I think Leicester are still interested, but we haven't really put a bid in for him or anything like that. So just waiting to see what happens. But there is quite a lot of interest. I think Everton are interested in Joe Perreault as well. So if you would prefer a Premier League move, he's got that option as well. So as a Barnes replace, is that the Borges guy? I just seen that Dortmund want him, so might be a sticky one. But yeah. To be fair, right, last few streams they've been working nice. I've kept all the programs up for about 2 weeks now as well, so it's all good. Barnes says quality. Yeah, I think with Barnes it would be a big miss because obviously he's a fantastic player, but I think it's probably right to cash in on him now because if we keep hold of him for this year, which I don't think we will do, but let's say we did, I don't think we'll be able to get much the season after. So yeah, I think with Barnes, he is a good player. Quite one-dimensional, I think. But if Newcastle can get him right, he will be a good signing for him. And I think, if Newcastle pay about 35 million for Barnes, I think all in all, it's a fair deal. maybe we would want a little bit more, but I don't think Leicester should be messing around too much, but not letting Barnes go for a stupidly low figure. That's my take on it. Fabrizio Romano also spoke about this deal for Harvey Barnes, so we'll have a quick look at this because obviously Fabrizio is the main guy. Some reports saying that Newcastle are close. Fabrizio is just saying that negotiations are underway for Harvey Barnes to Newcastle. Discussions are ongoing. Player is keen on the move. Eddie Howe does want him, and obviously the clubs are still working on them details around the fee and stuff. So yeah, I think as soon as Newcastle and Leicester do agree a fee in principle for Barnes, I think the deal will get done quite quickly because obviously Barnes, according to here, is keen on the move. So I don't think personal terms will be an issue or anything like that. So yeah, I think just a case of Leicester and Newcastle agreeing a fee, that could be done next week, and then we'll probably see Barnes leaving Leicester pretty soon, and that's probably best for all parties, really. Newcastle will want him soon for pre-season. Barnes will want a pre-season there. Leicester will want the money in quickly so we can reinvest that, because I think Leicester will be doing some business very late this window. So it's going to be a long one to go through. But yeah, there we go. Let me know in the chat, boys. 25 million for Barnes. I think that's far too low. How much you realistically think we can get for him? Obviously, we would like 60, 70 million or not, but I think about 35, 40 million is probably just about right. How long will I be streaming? Ooh. How long do you want me to stream? I could go for about 40 minutes maybe today. I won't go too long because there's not too much to go through today. Barnes is one of those players who can't seem to make the right decision at times. Yeah, I think this is going to sound, some people say, oh, I'm salty for this, but I've called Barnes a stat padder for quite a long time. It's harsh, but it's just some games he seems to do absolutely nothing, and then just pops up with a goal from nowhere. But obviously Barnes is a fantastic player, but the only thing I'd say that he is quite one-dimensional, and if he comes up against a fast fullback like Trent, he never does well. And that's the only criticism of his game I'd have. But you know, that same move he does when Ian actually comes deep, he plays the ball back to Barnes and he comes in off the left flank and finishes it into the bottom right. He's dangerous at that, and that's what he's best at. But I think if he can get consistent games at Newcastle, which he probably will, because I believe he's better than Miguel by a mile. I think Eddie Howe's obviously a fantastic manager. Barnes can get consistent games out there. Champions League football, I think, is a good move for him, really. And obviously, Tielemans and Maddison both wanted Champions League football. It looks like Barnes could be the only one who gets it, which is pretty mad. But yeah, I think Barnes is a good player, but it's just I think if he can get moulded right, he could get to that next level. But there's still quite a bit missing in his game, I think, for now. Because just like I've been saying, he's a bit one-dimensional. We can take on the player here and there, but yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. Watford fan, believe me, you don't want Barnes to stay. Smash Watford, yeah, probably would. Lovely stuff then, mate. Now I'm free all day. I'm going away next week, so I'm going to try and get a few streams done before I go. But if you guys want to see any particular videos, which I can pre-record tonight, Monday, Tuesday, let me know in the chat. I'm planning to get a few done. Daddy and Marty, I do remember you, mate. I do remember the main man, but I think you need to be change the name and the profile picture, bro. What he's doing out here? Let's get Cody in. I haven't seen a Cody profile picture in there yet. Disappointed, boys. Disappointed. Maybe we wait till the next signing. But yeah, there is another report saying that Newcastle set to sign Barnes for 35 million. I don't know how true that one is, so I won't bring that one on the screen. But yeah, let's get the big news in from today. Then the main man, the big Willy Caballero, has joined Leicester as a coach, not a goalkeeper. Where, to be fair, this guy probably is better than Danny Ward. But there you go. But yeah, this came out of absolute nowhere. So yeah, this morning Leicester confirmed that Willy Caballero is our new assistant manager alongside Enzo Maresca. So there we go. Pretty random. Didn't expect it, but yeah, Enzo's pretty much got his coaching staff done, which is good to see. Leicester are prepared for the new season, and yeah, big Willie's in there. The the bold revolution is beginning at Leicester. We've got Enzo, Willy Caballero. So yeah, it's beautiful stuff, boys and girls. But yeah, I think it's a pretty strange appointment. But yeah, we'll have to see how it does go. Obviously, assistant manager is still quite an important role to play. Obviously, he's very experienced, played in the Premier League numerous times. So I think he can come in and do a good job. So yeah, big up to big Willy Caballero. We'll have to see how he does. Daddy Cody doesn't does it really? Yeah, I don't know actually. Stick with Amati. Absolutely legend. Despite the fact he said absolutely nothing when leaving. Yeah, here's a bit more then on Willy Caballero. I found a very interesting tweet. This is from the Southampton goalkeeping coach. Obviously, he was at Southampton last year. So yeah, this is what he had to say then. Obviously, he's buzzing for him to get the move. Caballero's obviously got his UEFA goalkeeper licenses, etc. And as you can see, he looks quite experienced. He's kept a tactical notebook on the bench. So, yeah, I think all in all, it's a bit of a rogue appointment, but I think it's an interesting one. It's good to see that Enzo is getting his people in, though. You know, he wants people in who he trusts, who he can work well with, and I think that's key. I think Willy. I think he's a. I think Willy Caballero will be a well-respected figure in the dressing room. So I think it's a pretty good appointment, really. Obviously, he hasn't done any coaching before. Obviously, technically, he hasn't even retired yet. But yeah, I think it is a weird one. But if things are going bad in goal, stick Big Willy in there. That is what we could do. But yeah, it's a decent appointment. Came out of nowhere, just like I said. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I think obviously he is only assistant, but he can still play a important role alongside big Enzo Maresca. So there we go. Let's jump into the chat. I don't think it's a bad player, just the alertness to make correct decisions. Yeah. Yeah, I think with Barnes, when he has too much time, he usually makes the wrong decision. But when it's more of an instinctive thing, he's usually best. So it's one of them, really. I think, if Barnes is like through 1-on-1 and goal, he'll probably mess it up. But if he's got 2 or 3 players around him, he'll probably score. So, yeah, he is a bit of a weird player. But I think with Barnes, he obviously wants his move. I don't blame him, really. He's way better than the Championship standard. He's been at Leicester for a long time. And obviously Leicester are going to make profit because obviously he came through the academy. So all in all, I think if Leicester can get a good amount, it will be a decent little deal. We can obviously reinvest that money to get some more players in. We are mates. Bold FC. It's the revolution. I think we need Cambiasso in next. So that would complete the puzzle, wouldn't it? But yeah, a bit from Fabrizio Romano then on this Willy Caballero one. Don't know how much it's going to cost us or anything wage-wise, but yeah, that is now the 5th addition to Enzo's coaching staff. So pretty much it is complete, which is good to see. Obviously, pre-season, our first game is under a week away now, obviously against Northampton. So I think it's good to have everything in place now. We can start building the foundations and then really can now focus on getting the players in. I think the first couple of pre-season games are going to be key. I believe Leicester are going to have a few games behind closed doors as well, because obviously so far we only have scheduled Northampton and the games obviously away in Asia for the stupid little tour before the season starts. So I would imagine Leicester would have at least 2 to 3 games behind closed doors at Seagrave, because I think 3 pre-season games is not enough. But I think obviously first week of training is done. Most of the squad is back, so I believe Enzo will start to have a bigger picture of the type of squad he wants to build and who he wants to come in. Obviously, we've got players like Luke Thomas who are going to be coming back later. Congratulations on him for winning the Euros, obviously, with England. But Syston's finest, our left back is a European champ, boys. But yeah, I would imagine there would be quite a lot of movement within the next couple of weeks for transfers. Obviously, we are still waiting the likes of Castagna to leave. We don't know what's going to be happening with the likes of Wout Faz, Dennis Pratt, etc. Obviously, there is constant links around Iheanacho. We are going to discuss in a minute to Forest. Nothing major going on there, but there's definitely interest. So we'll see what happens with that one. I think Daka and Vardy will stay. I did see that Enzo wants Daka, Vardy, and Iheanacho to all stay, so be interesting to see on that front. But really, I think we need to be trying to close into a winger. Really, I prepared a little tactics thing later on in the stream. But if Barnes goes, the only winger we have is Albrighton, and you know, if we're going to play a winger formation with stuff, so the longer it goes on that Leicester don't sign the winger, the more I feel that Leicester are going to be playing a flat back 3 or 5 next year with wing backs and playing no wingers, because we can't be playing a 4-3-3 with one winger, can we? There's no point putting Dennis Pratt on the right again like we did last year. But train going past again, big up for the steam trains. But yeah, it's just interesting that obviously Leicester now have one winger left, and Albrighton obviously isn't that good anymore. They're against Revolution, exactly. So. But it's 1 o'clock, innit? So I don't know where the OGs are at, but it's good to see a few of you new guys in it today. So big up to you. Big up. Yeah, let's move on then. Obviously, we have discussed Willy Caballero. We're going to have a quick look at Callum Doyle. There hasn't actually been too much movement on this one, but there is a little bit here. Big up to the guys over at Beyond the 90, a fellow Leicester channel. Big up to Neil. So make sure to go and watch. I think they've got they did a video with Rob Tanner, so make sure to go and give that one a watch. But yeah, from that video, this is what we got from around Callum Doyle. So Leicester want to pay 7 million, Man City want 10. So it's obviously that negotiation. But I think if Leicester sell Barnes for a decent fee, I think Leicester will be fairly flexible on this transfer. So we could probably pay what Man City want, but. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Leicester do go in for the first bid. I think Callum Doyle will be very open to joining Leicester. Obviously, he has played under Enzo Maresca before at the Manchester City youth level. For Leicester, I think he's a very good centre-back. Sorry, he's left-footed as well, which provides great balance for us. Ball playing centre-back. Obviously, he's came through the Man City system as well. Knows Enzo, just like I said, was very good for Coventry last year in the Championship. So I think all in all, if Leicester can sign Callum Doyle on a permanent basis, it would be a fantastic signing for this season, but in future years to come, because I think this guy has a lot of good potential in him. So if Leicester can snap it up from Man City for between 7 and 10 million, let's just say 8.5 million, I think that would all in all be a pretty decent deal. And obviously, just like I said, he was at Coventry last year, was at Sunderland the year before as well. So he's got a lot of experience at the EFL level, which is key really, because it's all good playing at a high standard in the under-21s, but to play proper football at the likes of Sunderland and Coventry, who all did very well when Callum Doyle was there, I think all in all, it will be a fantastic signing for us. So top, let's get it done. So, Jesus, a bit what, but apart from this, there's nothing else. There's been no major source on Callum Doyle. So I imagine that we could see an update come this week. But I think Leicester will definitely be trying to go in for him. But once again, another centre-back Leicester are interested in. Do we play a back 3 or 5? That is the question. I think we may do. But we may get a bit more of a different idea in the pre-season games as well. But from what I've heard, I think Leicester will be playing a back 3 or 5 next year. That is what I think will happen. Enzo wants the team to be quite flexible, though. He wants players to play in numerous different positions, building upon that Man City style. Obviously, you see the likes of John Stones playing midfield, which I don't know if Leicester are going to be able to do that. But yeah, it'd be interesting come the first game against Coventry, which is obviously not long away. I think it's about 4 weeks now. Obviously, today is Sunday, isn't it? I don't know, mate. It's 1 o'clock, isn't it? Some people are having lunch and stuff. I know, mate. We're going early today. We're mixing up. If there is any transfer news later, I might go live again. Double live in one day, boys. Treating you. But yeah, I thought obviously I'd come live and cover the Willy Caballero stuff. Haven't obviously been live for a while, so I thought I'll treat you guys to a nice and early one. But yeah, that's the latest then on Callum Doyle. A bit more then on Zack Steffen. Obviously, James Trafford, who obviously pretty much won the game for England last night, is off to Burnley he's pretty much going to Burnley. So Alex Crook has come in. Obviously, Zack Steffen was on loan at Middlesbrough last year. Middlesbrough signed a new goalkeeper from QPR, and he will replace LCFC bound Zack Steffen as number one. So, not the most reliable of sources, but then again, TalkSport Alex Crook has said that Zack Steffen is LCFC bound. So, there's been nothing else, but it is interesting. Obviously, Borough don't plan to keep him. Just like I said, he was on loan there last year. So, yeah, could Zack Steffen be the man? It looks certain that Enzo wants a new goalkeeper. Obviously, Zack Steffen also came through Man City, so we have got that Man City link once again. We've now got Willy Caballero, who also has that Man City link again. So, Man City players, come along, let's get Riyadh back. But yeah, I think with Zack Steffen, we'll have to wait and see on this one again. But fingers crossed, we can try and get one of Zack Steffen, Callum Doyle, or someone new, or Joel Perot maybe, within the next couple of weeks as well. Because obviously we've got Winks and Cody in nice and early, which is fantastic stuff. But you know, it's been a week now since they've signed, so you know, Leicester, let's keep building. Let's keep building. But yeah, it's interesting that he said he's LCFC bound. That's so yeah, definitely 100%. But the only thing with Ricardo is that if he can stay fit, he will also suit the likes of Christensen and James Justin as well. And personally, I think you know if Leicester are going to be playing players in midfield, front defence, I believe James Justin is probably one of the most capable players to do so because he's quite good with the ball. But I don't think Leicester are going to be playing to the Man City style to full extent. But I think there will be elements of it. Yeah, that's obviously What about Iverson? Interest. I don't know. The only thing with Iverson, he's just not good with the ball, and that's literally it. He's a very good shot stopper, but if Enzo wants to be playing this passing style, which he is, he's pretty much said that in his press conference. If that wants to start straight from the back, maybe Leicester do need a new goalkeeper. But it's one of them. I think Iverson did all right when he came, but he didn't set the world alight. I think he made a few mistakes here and there. So I definitely would. I don't think I would be against signing a new goalkeeper, but it depends for how much really, because it may be a loan. I think a loan a loan for Zack Steffen may be better. I think to try and start signing him on the permanent, we may be looking at another 10 million here and there, but I'd personally rather spend 10 million or so on a brand new on a new winger, if you get what I mean. So it's one of them really. Yeah, fair enough. Ward out. I think Smithies will stay because he's on a high wage. He won't get that. He won't get a wage of that high anywhere else. I think Ward will probably leave. Yeah. I think if Leicester do sign a new goalkeeper, I think that will be the time when Ward goes. But if we don't, I imagine Ward will probably stay, and Ward and Iverson will probably fight it out if we don't sign anybody else. I think so. If we had a good second choice goalkeeper, I don't think Steffen. Yeah, I think it's just all about the style, really, because I think Ward and Iverson, both of them aren't really great, and I don't think Smithies is going to be anywhere near starting, is he? So, yeah, it's just about the style of play, really. What's happening with Ndidi? I don't know, mate. I really do not know, but that's the thing. If Leicester are going to be playing this passing style, and Ndidi's hopeless, the bro can't even pass 5 yards. I'm not even joking. So do we cash in? But I haven't really seen anyone interested apart from Napoli who were interested in that the first couple of weeks since the season ended. So same thing as well. You've got players like Castagna who are still just nothing's happening. Players like Ruud Faz as well, who's very uncertain. It's like, and that's why I keep saying Leicester are going to be making business right up until deadline day. I really think so, because obviously we have got Maddison gone, which is great stuff. We've got Barnes probably going as well, which is the main thing. But it's these other players who can go for about 10, 50 million here and there. We can sell 3 or 4 of them. It all stacks up to about 50 million, doesn't it? So yeah, I think we need to try and get them gone. 25 million for Barnes is a joke. Yeah, I agree. Ward happy to be on the bench. I don't know, would he? The only thing which makes me think, yeah, is his high wage. But I probably think Ward would want to play at his first team somewhere, because he could probably play first team at a lower championship side, surely. I love Callum Doyle, 100%. I think he's a very good centre back. Ward is championship level, yeah, but I still think I know he was bad for us, but I still think he can still play in the Championship. Surely, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's one of them really, isn't it? It was just absolute shambles for when he was there, but he picked up the odd form here and there, didn't he? But yeah, I can't see Ward starting for Leicester on a consistent basis ever again. So there we go. Yeah, let's move on. I was going to discuss connection actually to Forest. Obviously, there's nothing concrete there. There's interest in there. According to the Athletic, Leicester have offered him to Forest, which is a bit crazy in my opinion, but nothing close on agreeing a deal. So I think that one is a long way away still. But even so, do Forest even need him? They've got, what's his name, Awani. They've still got Emmanuel Dennis as well, I think. So they have got a few strikers in there as well. Welcome to the stream, and I assume you mean about Ward or something with that comment. But yeah, I think Leicester are going to be signing a new goalkeeper. It's just weird how we keep having these links, and sure, if Leicester weren't going to sign a new goalkeeper, there was no, the rumours around James Trafford and Zack Steffen just wouldn't be there. So for me, I'd be very surprised if we didn't at least get close to signing one. Obviously, James Trafford's going to Burnley, I believe, for 90 million, which is far out of our price range anyway. So I believe Zack Steffen is the man. Indeed, we do, Ant. We do. I reckon Willie's got a big one, He looks like a proper hard man, doesn't he? The aura at Leicester right now is cold. I imagine Enzo and Willy Caballero on the touchline. Oh, the aura. It's better than Brendan Rodgers and the work of Chris Davis. No aura there, was there? I'll be fine with Ian actually leaving to Forest. Go on, say it. I'll be fine with Ian actually leaving to Forest, but to Forest, no. I wouldn't even mind if he signed for Burnley. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Ian actually to Forest would dampen his reputation quite a lot. You think the new fans will hate Natch? Leicester fans hate everyone who leaves, really. Some, yes, I agree with it. Yeah, according to Leicester fans, if anyone leaves, we'll call them a snake, won't we? But yeah, I just think Ian actually to Forest would be a pretty weird move. It's like, I think it probably makes sense for Ian actually, location wise, but really, Forest. Yeah, you say all these. Honestly, anyone but them. Absolutely anyone. I wouldn't give a damn if you went to Villa or somewhere. You won't get there. But yeah, it's just it is a bit of a weird one. But I don't know why Leicester have offered him there either. But yeah, I think Ian actually obviously is more than capable of playing week in, week out at a Premier League club, and he probably deserves to move there. Not to Forest, but to a Premier League club. So hopefully someone else can come in for him. Brentford, come on. Someone like that. If the fans hate Nacho, yeah, I think most people love Ian Nacho, but obviously, just like I said, if he goes to Forest, his reputation will go down quite a bit. Celtic Forest Barnes 25 million. If this happens, yeah, I agree with that. I think if Woodkin lets Barnes go for 25 million, it's stupid. Because Newcastle have money. Leicester don't need to let Barnes go as quickly as we did for James Maddison. Do you know what I mean? It's like Barnes has got more left on his contract. There's no point just letting him go for nothing. We need to be a bit more rigid with this one. I think Barnes will obviously want to go. I don't think he might push a move if Leicester really standing still, but I don't think we'll stand that still. Just try and push up the fee a bit more, because I don't know why Newcastle seem to offer so little for every player we have. It's like they've just spent a load on Tonali, where yes, he's a good player, but Barnes is Premier League experienced. He's better than Almiron, whoever plays left wing for him. You know what I mean? It's like he's got experience in Europe as well, which they'll need. Champions League's a bit harder than the Europa League and stuff, but even so, I think I know he hasn't got long left on his contract, but he's still fairly young. He's English. I just don't get why the 25 million is so low. Should have signed up when last year, would have stayed up, probably so. Yeah. I get that Barnes had a great season for us, but 50 million seems too high for a winger. So limited as him, not very creative. He does have speed, a good shooter, but 50. Yeah, I just think 25 million is far too low. I think 35 million to 40 is about right. potentially a bit more if he had longer on his contract. But based on the context, I think 35 million for Harvey Barnes is a good deal, because I think Eddie Howe's a fantastic manager, and if Newcastle can mould him correctly, I think he could do bits for him. And obviously his stats are very good. As I said earlier, he does get the odd goal here and there where he's not playing too well. I did refer to him as a stat pilot, which I've said for a long time. I'm not just saying that now. But if he can get the best out of Barnes on a more consistent basis, you've got a very good player there. So yeah, I think obviously he is one dimensional, but if he can play under Eddie Howe, we can maybe improve him a bit more. So, but I think if Leicester and Newcastle can agree on about 35 million, a few add-ons here and there or something, it's a decent deal. The attack wasn't a problem, it was the defence, 100%. Anyone else find Tielemans signing for Villa really odd after the desire to join a top club and play in Europe? Yeah, 100%. 100% agree. The only reason why he went there is I think Villa obviously is a good project right now. Location-wise, it's good for him. I just think it works out quite nicely, really. Emery's obviously a good manager. But yeah, it's the same thing. I said it earlier. Maddison and Tielemans both wanted these super big Champions League moves, and it looks like Barnes could be the only one who gets it, and maybe Castagna. So, Juve, I don't think Juve are even in the Champions League all this year. But yeah, I just think it's a bit funny, isn't it? But yeah, I'd love if he stayed, of course. Yeah, definitely. But I think if Barnes stayed, he would rip the league up. I think he'd be the best player by probably a mile. But it's just that risk. If Leicester don't get promoted the first time around, we wouldn't be able to get much of Barnes at all, because I believe he would have 1 year left on his contract by then as well. So it's a risky one. And obviously, the scarves are gone, boys. But I'd say it is a risky one, and Leicester obviously done this to Tielemans and Maddison as well, having nothing left on the contract. But Tielemans obviously going for free, just stupid. So I don't think Leicester will make the same mistake again. It's almost be careful what you wish for. I wonder if you would have stayed if he Tielemans. I don't know actually. I don't think he would have, but I just think with Tielemans, he just fell off a lot, hasn't he? He really had just fallen off a lot. He could have got a big move to Liverpool for about 60 million, it was reported, after he won the FA Cup, and now he's just ended up at Villa. It's a bit like, meh, but I don't know. I wish him all the best. He's done good for us, obviously, but he only lives down the road from me as well, so I think he's staying as well, which obviously makes sense. Yeah. Samore, Chowdhury, Disbrul, and Diddy Winks, Alves, Braybrook, that's the thing. We do have options. But if Leicester are be playing this passing style, I really don't think we can rely on the likes of Diddy and stuff, and maybe Chowdhury as well, because I think Chowdhury's a good defensive player, but on the ball, he never really did too much for us. It's an interesting one, but if you mention them players there, Samore, Chowdhury, and Diddy, I think we need to cash in on at least one of them realistically, and try and get someone a bit more of a ball playing midfielder. I was going to say a profile of Sergio Busquets, but we ain't going to get close to that, are we? So 2 years on the contract. Look at Barnes' stats. Only about 4 wingers get more goals than him last year. He's a 45 million plus player. Why do his fans put players down? Yeah, I think he's a very good player. Don't get me wrong, but the only thing I'll say with Barnes is that he is very one-dimensional, which is the only thing. I won't keep saying the same thing, but that's the only reason why I think his price may be slightly reduced, because his stats are fantastic, 100%. But I think with less stupid scoffs, but I think with Barnes, it's one of them really. He can be a top winger, but it's a case of moulding them correctly, and I think Newcastle would be a good place to do that at. But I think if we can get 40 million to 35 million, it'd probably be about right. I don't think there's too much trying to mess around and push the fee up too much. And I think the 2 years on the contract, and the fact that Leicester have got relegated, which is going to push the figure down a little bit. Hello, Jack. Welcome to the stream, mate. If you're doing all right. 100%. Callum Doyle and Perot, I'd take them. 2 fantastic players. Hello, Rennie, mate. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing all right. Should get at least 45 million, especially considering Newcastle are rich. They must clearly not rate him highly. Yeah, that's true. Also think, yeah, I don't think he'll be another Anthony Gordon. But I said it earlier. That's what I mean. I don't get why Newcastle value our players so low. It's like Maddison as well. They were paying, I think they put in a bid of like 30 million or something last year from as well, which is miles off. And Leicester, he had even longer left on his contract as well. And Leicester weren't even relegated. It's like, spend all this money on Gordon for 50 million and you don't want to pay, and you're trying to bid 25 million for Barnes. It makes zero sense. I just don't get it. I know we got relegated, but Barnes is far better than Gordon. Gordon's stats alone were dreadful. And yes, he was a decent player for Everton, but he was nowhere near the level of Barnes, in my opinion. And Barnes is you know, he's been alright in the Premier League for at least 3 years now, and he's obviously been at Leicester for a while. Just like I said, he's got the European experience as well. I just cannot work out why Newcastle are being so reluctant to bid a little bit higher. And Leicester valued him at 60 million, which is obviously far too much now. But 25 million, just in my opinion, is a bit disrespectful, really. I just don't really get it. I expect, we all are, aren't we? What do you think about Willie? What do you think Willie will do about the goalkeeper situation at club currently? Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? It's like a goalkeeper coach becoming the assistant manager. So I would imagine he'll play a bit of a part on the goalkeeping front. But I think we'll probably leave that mostly down to the goalkeeping coach. Obviously, we have appointed a new one, but I think Caballero would have a bit of say in that as well. But I think it all depends on the style of play. And just like I said, if Enzo wants to play this passing style, and if that starts from the back, we do need a new goalkeeper. Newcastle have financial fair players who spent 300 million last season. That's true. But even so, surely they can go a bit more than 25 million. Surely. Yeah, exactly that. Newcastle probably would have signed Maddison if not for Tonali, Barella links. Yeah, that's true. But have Newcastle even got anyone in apart from Tonali this window? I can't remember. I think that surely they'll let a few players go here and there. We're linked to FC again. Yeah, we are, to be fair. Hopefully we can make some movement in the next couple of days or so. But I think we will. I think we will. Barnes should stay. Man City should bid on Barnes. I think Barnes will want to be at a club where he's going to be playing week in, week out, to be fair. And I think with Newcastle he gets it. Obviously there has been interest around with West Ham and Villa and stuff. So if the Rice deal finally gets done, don't count West Ham out of it for a last minute move. Obviously they've got Europa League as well. It's still quite an attractive club to go to. But I think Barnes is pretty much set to sign for the Geordies. So the Man City youngster, yeah. You know what? I'm going to get the tweets up because I don't want to disappoint you boys, but Dortmund won him. If it's the same one, I'm on about the Borges geezer, whatever his name is. I can't find it anyway. But yeah, I think Dortmund are looking at him as well. So if they want him, it's going to be difficult for Leicester to bring him. Yeah, I think we're on about the same one. Surprised I haven't heard more links to West Ham. I think the only thing stopping that is just West Ham trying to wait for the Declan Rice money to come in, because somehow I don't know why it's taken so long to be announced. But if Rice can make his permanent move to Arsenal, let's say tomorrow, West Ham get the money in quite quickly, which I think most of the transfer for that deal is coming in the money's coming in instantly. It's not through installments or anything. Maybe West Ham do go in for him, because West Ham definitely do need someone out there to partner Jared Bowen, which would be a very good duo, wouldn't it? But we have to wait and see. Hello, Grey mate. Welcome to the stream. Doyle in next week. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, Barnes gets sorted as soon as possible. 100%. 25 million makes me angry. Yeah, let's say 35 million for Barnes next week. Just get that done, and then we can really focus on bringing in the lots of Callum Doyle, potentially Joe Perot as well. Because the longer it goes on, I just think it makes it more difficult for these players to settle in. But then again, if you're looking at Callum Doyle and Joe Perot, the championship experience, so I don't think it would take them very long to adapt to the league, obviously, but it may take them a bit of time to adapt to the Leicester system, because it may be quite different to the style of football they have played in the championship at other clubs. But it's all about getting the players in early. But I think Leicester have obviously done good so far. I think all in all, we're still 4 weeks away from the start of the season. I think this window has been fairly successful so far. We've brought in 2 very good players, got rid of Maddison. Barnes is about to go. I think all in all, we can be happy with it. I would have done a sort of deal with Man City. To be fair, I'd take that. But I don't think you want to go to Man City. Barnes cheap because we're Championship. True. However, I think he's still got more on his contract left, and I still think he is a valuable asset. So I think 25 million is fairly low in my opinion, but entitled to your opinion, great. But I just think with Barnes, I think Leicester can afford to just try and raise the price a bit more. But yeah, I think if Leicester, if Barnes, just like I said, if Barnes goes, we've got 1 winger. Albright, we need more than that. So I imagine Leicester will want to get this deal done quickly, really. Going to book my mate next week, who's good stuff, mate. Welcome to Big Willy Caballero. We love to see it, don't we? But Borges, you guys seem. I need to have a look at him, don't I? Every stream, there's so many people mentioning him. I haven't watched him, so I might watch him after this. See what the hype's about. Maddison and Barnes leaving for less money than Fofana hurts. I just want it done so we get some more signings. Yeah, I think with Fofana, obviously he had ages left on his contract. The deal got done late in the window. He wanted to go. Chelsea obviously have loads of money, so I think he's always going to go for more. When will players signing their contract? Don't know. We haven't seen anything contract extension wise, but I don't think we'll see anything major with that one. Always plays like Ronaldo, does he? Hey up. So yeah, there we go, boys and girls. But yeah, I think we are going to wrap things up in a minute. Big up to everyone there in the chat. Lots of people in here at 1 o'clock, which is good to see. But if you've got any final talking points, feel free to let me know if there's anyone you want to sign particularly. Let us know. And if there's any videos you want to see me do while I'm away, make sure to let me know in the chat. I'm planning to do a few. 3 players Leicester should sign. I'm obviously going to do the video on the kit, which I still ain't done yet, even though I bought the kit last week. So I need to get around to doing that as well. So yeah, I think for me, Doyle was the one I really want, really, because I think Job Pro would be a very good signing. But for me, I just think Doyle offers so much, not only now but for the future as well. He's a left-footed centre back. He came through the Man City academy, got championship experience with Coventry last year, and obviously Coventry did well last year. I think all in all, he would be a fantastic signing, really, and suits us perfectly. Doyle and Steffen, and apparently Leeds to hijack move for Perot. I think Leeds need a striker more than we do, but I think Leicester obviously have more to spend than Leeds, so we can offer a bit more. Saying that though, Leeds have just got new owners, haven't they? So I don't know. God, the scarves have been up here the whole stream. Last few minutes, I mean, it's fallen off. Our Pro Talk's still ongoing. Honestly, I don't know. I believe we're still interested, but I don't actually think there's been any major talks even started. Just Leicester being interested, really. That's all I know. I got the new Leicester home kit. It looks brilliant. I hated it when we played. Yeah, they've made a few tweaks. I agree. It looks a lot better now. Lovely stuff. Back 3 or back 4 next season. I'd say a back 3. You know what? I've got this little thing here, so we are going to bring it up quickly. There's no players on it, but I thought we might have a quick look just to wrap things up. So if it loads, here we go then. Right. So I imagine I think we are be playing a back 3. Obviously, Cody's going to be the man here. Then we've probably got Suter maybe here, maybe Callum Doyle or something if we get him. Obviously, you've got the 2 wing backs, so you could be Thomas Christensen, Ricardo Justin out there. You have Winks as one of the 8s. You've probably got Dewsbury Hall here. And then I don't know who's going to be here. Right now, it's probably going to be Ndidi, Chowdhury or Samaro, depends on who stays. The 10, I mean, that needs to be a new signing, or unless we just play two up top like that with Vardy or Iheanacho or Daka or whatever. But yeah, it'd be interesting. I imagine it'll probably be something a bit like this ish. So I think Leicester do need to go and sign a new 10 really to replace James Maddison. Ilias Chair is the obvious man, but haven't heard anything on that since Enzo's been appointed, so we don't know, but I think he would be a very good signing. Then again, if Iheanacho stays, could we play Iheanacho in this 10 where obviously he's been forced to not play there, but when James Maddison's been here, James Maddison's now gone, so that position's open. So, if Iheanacho stays, he could play in the number 10 role, which I think he's probably better in. It could be very good for us. But then again, I still think with lots of Dewsbury and Winks, it is a bit, I don't know, I think we need a bit more going forward, if you get what I mean. I think they're two very capable players, but I just think the goal output between Dewsbury and Winks is not great. But we may have to rely on the likes of Ricardo and let's just say Christensen here to really bomb forward and provide some big attacking output, which they have done. Christensen does like to get forward, as we know. Ricardo, if he can stay injury-free, can be a big threat. So I've seen Justin as well is very capable of scoring goals. Luke Thomas, not so much, but I just think if these Brawl Minks can probably boost their goals up a bit more than the stats have shown, I think we will be all right. And especially if Iheanacho is playing in the 10, we definitely need someone from midfield to add a bit more goals to their game. So interesting. Obviously, in goal, we could have the likes of Zack Steffen potentially if he does come in. But personally, as of right now, on the 9th of July, this is how I think Leicester will set up next year ish really, because it could be more of a flat three like this. But I think defensive cover is definitely needed if we are playing a back three, and obviously the wing backs will come back a bit more defensively. But if you play this formation, the full backs are going to have to be on it, which makes me think we probably do need to sign another one just for backup, because we cannot rely on Ricardo and Justin all season because they're just simply too injury prone. So there we go. Let's jump back into the chat then. Where are we? Here we go then. Will we lower Hurst out next year? Yeah, that's a good point actually. I think we'll probably sell him. That's what I'd say. Batman City would most likely have a buyout clause. Yeah, something like that. Or like a selling on bonus or something like that. It was, wasn't it? Yeah. When is the tired lad coming to that? Yeah, I think he's here. I haven't seen him in training or anything like that. I think he will be in the under 21s or 23s, whatever it is. Yeah, Savannah Mwanta, whatever his name is. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I think he might have played for Thailand, so he might have a bit longer holiday. So we'll see on his arrival. But there's been nothing from Leicester City saying that he's arrived or not. But I don't know. Good to see King Power back on shirt, 100%. 3-5-2, yeah, I agree. Trafford's going Burnley, indeed he is. I think with him it's a bit of a weird one because we don't know if he's going to be first team or academy. What can I say, academy? The under 21s, and usually for under 21 signings we don't get that official announcement. So he may just appear randomly. Bloody Burnley. Winks will be fine. Cody Skipper, 100%. Vardy will be a bench player too. Too old to start. And will prefer stay. I think Ricky may stay. I think with Vardy, I agree. I think Saturday, Tuesday, or Saturday, Wednesday is a bit too much for him. So I think if we can keep hold of the likes of Daka and Iheanacho, we may have to rotate a bit. I don't know what's happening with Pratt and Diddy and Castagna. Neither had nothing on them. They are all back in training though. Justin feels like a new signing. Hopefully, to be fair, Justin came back, didn't he, last year quite early, so he is fully fit. But yeah, we could see him back week in, week out. Hopefully so. Castagna to Juve looks to be the case. Yeah, Diddy's to stay. But yeah, he may do. Ilias Chair's gone quiet. Yeah, but the links for him were before Enzo came in, so it depends if Enzo wants someone like that, or Enzo may have a different player in mind to fill in that 10 role. The blonde guy, I think I forgot his name, but he's American. That's all I know. I forgot. I think it's Zach Booth or something like that. Vardy to be a second half player. I don't know. I think Vardy might start the odd game here and there, but I just don't think on a consistent basis. All depends though, because I don't know. He showed the last 2 games of the previous season. I think he showed a bit back to his old self, especially in the games against Everton and Leeds, especially Everton where he looked fantastic. But then again, I think teams are going to be sitting back. If Leicester are going to be playing the passing style, Vardy doesn't really suit that. Neither does Daka really, though. So maybe Leicester really do need to go for someone like Joe Pro. But then again, I don't know how good Joe Pro is with the ball at his feet either. Daka might eat the championship. If Daka has space in behind, he will, because he can finish. Please, Carl, don't go to Forest. I agree. Will I do another stream today? Ooh. If there's any transfer news which comes out between now and 7 o'clock, I will. But if not, probably not. I'm gonna record a few videos later, I think. But yeah, if not tonight, I'll go live on Monday night and probably Tuesday night as well. And then I'm away for a week, so probably nothing after that until I come back. But yeah, that's the plan. But there we go, boys and girls. That is where we're going to wrap up the stream today. A big one, 51 minutes long. Jesus. Yeah, it's been good to hop on at 1 o'clock. I might do a few streams at this time on the weekends and stuff in the future, because there's still quite a few of you guys in here today, which is good to see. But yeah, just before you head off, if you have enjoyed, make sure to go and drop a like. If you're watching this back on playback or have got any final thoughts, just get in the comment section down below and let me know your thoughts as well. Yeah, thank you very much for coming in, boys and girls. It is massively appreciated, and big up to all you guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Stay safe up the Leicester, and just like I said, if there's any news which comes out, I'll go live again later. If not, I'll see you boys on Monday nights. Yeah, in a bit more. Stay safe, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Up the Leicester.